Hello, and welcome to a Master Chief of the Navy video featuring USS North Carolina, this ship named for my home state, BB-55, aka the Showboat, nicknamed that by an NBC reporter in the 1930s due to the popular Broadway show, something to that effect. That's how it got its nickname. Earned 15 battle stars in the Second World War and is one of the most decorated ships in the US Navy from that time. Armed with 9 16-inch main guns and meant for plunging fire in this game. Also one of the first battleships that can get up to 100 with AA rating, fully equipped for that with her captain. Doesn't even need a flag for it. Interesting fact, two North Carolinas mutually supporting each other can eat up any uh, tier 9 or below carrier group sent at it, or sent at the pair, I should say. Well, in this match we're on Haven, and as you can see the Lemming Train's already started, and I begrudgingly have to join it, even though I am a fervent hater of the Lemming Train philosophy. Needless to say, as any player of World of Warships will know, you cannot show your broadside in the North Carolina, as she has about the same armor, just much worse somehow as the Scharnhorst and the Gneisenau with 380 millimeters of Citadel and belt armor. Go figure how you can't penetrate a Gneisenau or a Scharnhorst with that kind of armor, but you can penetrate a North Carolina. But hey, it was deeply irritating as I managed to miss all of these shots on the Alabama. And honestly, I'm a little pissed that the South Dakota class got to be the premium tier 8 ship. I was actually kind of hoping that they'd bring the USS Washington, the much more famous counterpart of the North Carolina. She's one of the few battleships that's ever killed another battleship when, during the Battle of the Coral Sea, I want to say it was, but it might not have been. I think it was the Coral Sea. The USS Washington had to rescue a South Dakota class, the South Dakota herself, from the battlecruiser Kirishima, and at a range of like 5,000 yards, open fire at point blank range when the Kirishima and the Takao had both managed to avoid seeing her somehow. Mind-bogglingly point blank range after like 9 main battery hits and like hundreds of 5-inch hits. The Kirishima was forced to withdraw. But sadly, I'm not playing the Washington. Interestingly enough, though, as a nod to the Washington, you can get a North Carolina to be around 10 kilometers detection range, which is rather amazing. I got mine up to, or around to 13 kilometers, so you can get pretty close to someone before opening up, but you don't want to actually get that close in a North Carolina. It isn't useful for running away when you have to, though. So, because the Lemming Train is a Lemming Train and therefore the failed train, I've been forced to divert to deal with a squadron of enemy ships. I believe there's a French Legaron? I don't know, a French cruiser of a certain tier that I don't care enough to know about. A Tirpitz and some other ship that I don't have the ID for. Maybe an Amagi? No, it's probably not a cruiser. But anyway, yes, so I have to have the fun time of fighting against these guys myself. And knowing I'd have a hard time killing them all by myself, I kindly asked if they would drop dead like a bunch of good chaps in chat. Of course, that did not work quite the way I'd wanted it to. But anyway, shots out. Let's see how these 16-inch guns perforate a light French cruiser. And misses all around because I actually thought the French would be fast. Surprise, the French cruiser's slow. Keep the bow straight on, even though the bow arms weaken on U.S. battleships. Oh, it is an Amagi, the other battleship. Oh, all the torpedoes. I'm actually rather impressed at how well I managed to not die in this match. My damage wasn't brilliant, but, you know, I managed to not die fairly well. This French cruiser was getting suicidally close to North Carolina. I didn't manage to see that one once, which is deeply irritating. The devs in this game really have crapped on the historical accuracy of U.S. battleships, because the North Carolina actually had, I think, you know, well, the United States Navy in the Second World War actually had some of the best, oh, yes, Citadel, had some of the best radar, systems in the, you know, world, and it was so good you could see your shell splashes and walking your fire that way as opposed to using, like, optical, rangefinders. So later on in the war, the United States Navy should have been good at night fighting, even early on. So yeah. But no, I mean, I've been on North Carolina, and I can tell you that the, you know, fire control computers, even though they're analog, would have made the ship is much more accurate, long, medium, and short range than this game makes it seem. And it really pisses me off. I'm glad I ended up doing a lot of work on this Tirpitz. Only to have my kills stolen. I gotta say though, as much as I've enjoyed the Tirpitz, it's enjoyable to have a Tirpitz with, you know, 10.9 kilometer secondaries unless you're on the receiving end. Then it's just irritating. So, what is the North Carolina good for? Long-range plunging fire sniping. You can aim in Citadel Yamato once. Hand on my heart, I've managed it in this very ship, just not this match, because of course there's no Yamatos in this match. I've Citadel'd a Bismarck in it before. Annoyingly enough, though, the North Carolina can be Citadel'd at 10 kilometers and under by Hitler-class cruisers. Probably any German heavy cruiser at that point. Deeply irritating factor, but you know, balancing, quote unquote, because the devs have really crapped on the US Navy in this game. So plunging fire, yes, it's also a very good AA escort for you know, other battleships, but it cannot, if there's a carrier, you really shouldn't, even if you have a 100% AA rating, you should not try to solo, you know, the enemy carrier by yourself, or try to defend defend by yourself against enemy carrier groups, because you just don't have defensive fire. It's like, you know, if you've ever played in the Texas, there's a point where you realize that, well, a carrier captain will realize if he's determined enough, he can sink you. Especially if you're a cruiser that's accompanying you does not have defensive fire. It's, yeah. Also, the shell velocity on these 16-inch guns is really, really low. The shells don't move nearly as quickly as you would think they would. Feels like they move at subsonic speeds sometimes. So how to play the North Carolina? You have to angle, and you have to pretend like you don't have that rear turret. That's actually kind of a factor for Tier 8 and above American battleships. I mean, I desperately want the Montana. I don't think I'll ever sell the North Carolina. I had growing pains with her, but she's turned out to be a very, very good ship. For a non-premium battleship, I really do love her, but I don't know. I think the Bismarck or the North Carolina, see, those are my tier 8 battleships that I have. I haven't played enough games, I guess, in the Bismarck to really say I can feel the same way about her as I have the North Carolina. But everything I'm about to do here is everything you shouldn't do in a North Carolina. Take it into a close quarters battle. I think you can do it, but I did it the wrong way. Let me say that as the disqualifier. Because I didn't think that the enemy Alabama would be smart enough to, or would be expecting this act of severe stupidity from me. But I was on low health, had no damage controls, and just said it. I made it a titch easier for the rest of the team to kill it, but I think my problem was I didn't come around aiming enough because I wanted to get all my guns on her, and I didn't aim for her midships, and I didn't zoom in, and you know, only one of my turrets ended up hitting it, and then the Alabama had her aft turret and one of then one of her forward turrets finished me off, which was. And well, since I was heavily paddled by that Alabama, I'll let you enjoy the news report from the Master Chief News Desk, and see you next time on World of Warships with Master Chief. Cheers.